Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and absolutely fascinating idea here today with these lines are like arrows in a puzzle, but you don't quite know where the circles and the arrows are, and each line goes circle, arrow, maybe circle, arrow. I don't know, I mean, it's intriguing. We'll get to that in a moment. I do want to mention the Planet Suite, our current Patreon reward on obviously on our Patreon channel, and it's been getting very good feedback. Quite a novel idea for the last puzzle. Puzzles kind of get a bit harder as you go through the set, although a lot of the work in the last one is just fitting them together. So anyway, that is available on Patreon. Do check it out. And what else have we got going on? We've got of course, all our apps. Do check those out. There is an Arrow Sudoku app, so if you find you like this kind of stuff, that's where you can get 100 more puzzles based on Arrow Sudoku. And I mean, by some of the best constructors in the world. There's all sorts of other stuff in the description field. The links to our merchandise, Sven's SUDOKU PAD, the catalogue of our puzzles, run by Vebi. Thanks to Vebi. Vebi got mentioned in the email we got from Simple Purple Frog, although actually this puzzle that Simon sent me is not one of those in that email. I'm not quite sure what the feedback for this has been, but it comes recommended. And yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go through the rules, and then I will just mention that Simple Purple Frog had a very tough diagnosis 4 years ago, and his wife also had a tough one a couple of years ago. So they've been using Cracking the Cryptic to sort of get some joy out of life, and thank goodness for that. And this is an attempt to give something back, creating a few novel puzzles. That's really, really touching. And welcome to the channel, Simple Purple Frog, for a constructorial debut. Now, the rules are, normal Sudoku rules apply. So 1 to 9 is going to go in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Each line is divided into discrete sections, each of which consist of one digit, a total, followed by more than one digit summing to that total, like a circle and an arrow, if you know Arrow Sudoku. We've slightly rewritten these rules because not everybody has seen Arrow Sudoku before. The ordering of total and sum will be consistent on each line. So each line goes circle, arrow, etc. But the solver must determine which end of the line starts with a total or circle. I mean, that's intriguing. First impression, that's quite a lot of lines to give. I suspect it won't prove that way. Interesting. I don't know how this is going to work at all. It's a very nice idea, though, and probably not as simple as one of the adjectives in Simple Purple Frog's handle. Anyway, do give it a try on the first link under the video. You can check the video length to see how I did find it, which I don't know yet. So let's get cracking. Yeah, I mean, I suspect getting into this puzzle is going to be very much the hard part, as always. Oh, I tell you what, I mean, I should probably be looking at this line, but instead my brain is saying, have a look at this line. And it's quite useful. Yeah, the whole point of this, I think the rules make it fairly clear that there can't be a one-cell arrow, a total followed by a circle that is just itself. That can't happen because there are no diagonal lines in this puzzle. They're all orthogonal, horizontal or vertical. And therefore, every possible domino, the two numbers see each other in a Sudoku sense. So you can't have that happening. Now, this is a 5-cell line. The only way it could have split into two is if there was a 2-cell section allowed. But that's not possible because any 2-cell section would be an impossible line. It would have a repeat digit. So this is a single line. Therefore, there is... going to say there is a repeat digit on it. That's right, because otherwise the small numbers would have to be at least 1, 2, 3, 4, which add together to give a non-Sudoku number. Okay, I'm going to need, I think, the pen tool today. So there is clearly a line all along this line, as it were, an arrow line, and one end or the other is a circle. And these numbers have to add up to no more than 8, because then the number outside box 3 that's on the arrow that's contributing to the sum can be 1, 2, or 3, and the number that in the circle, the total, will be 8 or 9. It could be 7. This could be a 1, 2, 3 with a 1 there. Okay, well, it didn't get me very far. So I will now, I'm going to consider column 9 particularly. Yes, right. Now, there is a secret that I want to share with you. And that is that every row, every column, and every box in a Sudoku adds up to the same number. And the number is 45. Okay, so just be careful with that extraordinary knowledge. Now, I'm going to also drop an absolute knowledge bomb on you now. 45 is an odd number. And that's important in this column, actually. Because if we were to divide this column into discrete sections that stopped with those 9 cells, so we had a line cutting off these 3 sections, this couldn't work. And that's quite interesting. It couldn't work because this section of the puzzle adds up to 45. Every one of these totals plus their sum, or arrow plus the circle, must have an even total, because you put x in the circle, a sum adding up to x on the arrow, that adds up to 2x, that's always even. So this line that I've just drawn cannot exist, because if you had all even arrows, you couldn't make them add up to the 45 total that must apply to this column. So the arrows in this column go round the corner, 1 or 2 cells. Actually, I'll tell you what they do. Yeah, that's really interesting. You can never have an arrow that's only 2 cells. We worked that out. So every arrow is at least 3 cells. So in this column, plus the 1 or 2 cells that make up the final arrow in it, let's say it's only 1, the total is going to be, if you halved that total of digits, you would get the total in the circles, because of this x on the circle plus x on the arrow equals 2x. Yeah, and I don't think you can have more than 3 circles in this row, because each arrow has to be at least 3 cells long. Yeah, so you can only have 3 circles in this column. And therefore, those 3 circles have got to add up to half of whatever this group of cells adds up to. But the most that those 3 cells in the circles can add up to is 24. So the most that this group of cells, that's either that shape or that shape, adds up to is 48. And that's going to mean the cells around the corner, after you've had the 45 in the column, are going to add up to either 1 or 3. And they're not going to add up to 1. And that's because this group of cells adds up to 8 or less, so that the circle here or here can be 9 or less. And 8 or less needs a 1 in it. So the extra cell, if it was a single cell, can't be a 1. It can't be 2 cells that are 1, 2 now, adding up to 3. So it must be a single cell that is a 3. And I can place a 3 weirdly in this cell of the puzzle. I can draw a line here. I can take 3 out of this group, so they're either 1, 2, 4 or 1, 2, 5 now, so there's definitely a 2 in them. I can draw another line in the top row here because I've got 6 arrow cells left, and that can't, every arrow component has to be at least 3 cells, and a 6 cell one would have 5 digits on the arrow bit. That's impossible. So 3 is on the arrow bit, so the circles are at this end of the line. This is, in fact, I suppose I can draw a circle like that. That's a circle, that's a circle, because the order is consistent along the line. Now I can't draw in the circles because of these 10 cells, there are 2 3-cell arrows and 1 4-cell arrow. But, now this is a 3. This whole group adds up to 48. So the numbers in the circles in column 9 are 9, 8 and 7. Actually, that gives this, which is not a circle, it really rather reduces it. 1 and 2 are in that group of cells in the box. 3 is there. 9, 8 and 7 are in circles somewhere down here. So this is 4, 5 or 6. And that must be, since we can't put 1, 2 or 3 here, that is the only other cell on the circle. So this is a circle with a 7, 8 or 9 in it. And I forgot to draw lines in. I may continue to forget to draw lines in as we go through this puzzle. That's at least 3, isn't it? Now, we've got to have a 3-cell arrow either here or here. So there. I can draw that much line in. It's a strange old puzzle, isn't it? Now, this is at least 1, 2, 4, so 7's not possible anymore. And indeed, 3 can't be in the extra arrow cell. So it's either 1, 2, 4 plus 1 to make 8, although that could go either way round. Or it's 1, 2, 4 plus 2 or 1, 2, 5 plus 1. Now, this can't be very low now. Okay, this is not 7, 8 or 9 because it's not a circle. Right, so 7, 8, 9 have become a triple in this box. There. And that's... Okay, is this a circle? Probably is. No, hang on. This arrow is like a carpet, isn't it? It's a rolled up carpet is what I'm thinking because of another type of Sudoku. But this box operates exactly the same way as column 9. Yes, it does. Okay, you can't divide this line up into sections that finish within the box, that finish at the... sorry, what I'm trying to say very hopelessly and articulately is you can't have a section border there. Because again, you'd have the same problem that the box would add up to 45, but it would contain whole arrows, including arrow and circle, and that has to be even. So it's exactly the same deal as here, as in column 9. And in fact, it's going to need this cell, this cell or these two to add up to 1 or 3 to get the total up to 46 or 48. And in fact, this end of the line is the circle. And then there are other arrows. Oh, this must be the circle for the last 3 bits of the line, because there can't be just 2. So there is a border there. And this 7, 8 or 9 is on the arrow. So it's 7 or 8. That's 1 or 2. That's 8 or 9. Now I've got a 1, 2 pair. I had to put 1, 2 in this group of cells, and now they can't be here. So they're both here. That's a 1, 2 pair. That is not 1 or 2, so this is the big number. This is the circle. This is a small number on the other end. That is a 1 or a 2. It's the same as that one. There was always going to be a repeat digit on this line. I worked that out, didn't mention it because I'm mean that way. Now we've got a 1, 2 pair here. So what's this going to be? Oh, I was going to say it's going to have to be a 3. That's not true, but I do know that you can't add both of those two because they would be at least 3 and 4, and that would be a 5. You'd get to 12. Nonsense. So what I can do is put the circle in there and a line segment in there. Now, this can't be 8 or 9. We've got a very useful quad going on here. This, in fact, is 7, because the minimum for that is 3, the minimum for that is 4, the maximum for this is 7. Isn't that lovely? So that's not 7. This isn't a 4. This isn't a 7. Now, we've used 3 and 4. This is either 1, 2, 5 or 1, 2, 6, and the 1, 2 go there. This is 5 or 6 because of this 1, 2 pair. But I don't know yet whether this is 8 or 9 and which of these is 5 or 6. Strange. I've also got 7, 8, 9 triple here. These are from 4, 5, 6. Now, I've only got one cell and it's 1 or 2 to complete this even segment. So that has to be a 1. Now, this time we've got a different result from here where we got a 3 and therefore we had 9, 8, 7 in the circles. This time we're going to have 9, 8, 6 in the circles because the total of this triple section is 46. You divide that by 2, you get 23 in the circles. That's 9, 8, and 6. But I don't know where any of them are going to go. That's not very helpful. Oh, that is a 1. No, that is nice. Oh, that's lovely now. This is a 2. So this is 7 plus 2 equals 9. That's an 8. Oh, we're away. This is a 9. That's a 6. Sorry, if you saw that and were shouting, my apologies. Took me a while. That's an 8. Now, does that deal with this? 3 plus 4 plus 1? Yes, it... Oh, bother, something's gone wrong. Because I've got 2 4s here. Okay, sorry, I'm going to have to backtrack. I've messed something up there. I'm going to go a long way back because it feels quite fundamental, that. I'm going to go back to when I said we had a 1 or a 2 there. Why did I say that was 1 or 2? Why couldn't it be 3? I put in a 1 or a 2. I was thinking it's either... you know what I was thinking? I was thinking we've either got 1 cell to add on, which is a 1, or 2 cells to add on, adding up to 3 at the time. And therefore I thought this had to be 1 or a 2. That's nonsense. Right. But a lot of this is still solid. That's 1, 2, or 3. There had to be a line here because we have to have a 3-section segment. That has to be a circle. That's still fine. Once that has to be a circle, this isn't 9. That's 1 or 2. This is 8 or 9. I've still got 7, 8, 9 triple. Okay, this might not be as easy as I thought. I'm not getting the 1, 2, 8, 9 quad that I thought. Things have changed, but let's try again. Sorry about the error. Yeah, even this isn't necessarily the end of the line. Bother. Right, okay. This, though, was 4, 5, or 6. That's still true. Because 1 and 2 are used up here. Now, this can just be a low digit. But these can't both be low digits. Okay, that's true. When I'm talking about low digits now, I'm talking about 1, 2, and 3. One thing I know about a 3-cell arrow that uses 3 different numbers and sums to a Sudoku digit is that it must have 2 out of 1, 2, 3 on it. If it didn't, it would have at least 4 and 5 and at least one other. And that would add up to 10, which is too many. So these two can't both be on an arrow with a higher digit, because one of them would have to be from 4, 5, 6. So it's still fair to put a circle there. That is, I think, what I did last time. And this, though, you see, previously I made this one of 1, 2, 3. In fact, I thought that was a 1, 2 pair and I could make that 3. Things have changed. Things have changed. The situation has developed, not necessarily to my advantage. That is 7, 8, or 9. That's still true, because it's a circle in this column. Now, this doesn't have to be a low digit anymore, which is a bit sad, because it could be 4 or 5. That could be a 4, 5 pair, and that could be 9. Although, what would happen then? If that was a 4, 5 pair and that was 9, this would be 8, 1, 7. Now, that wouldn't work, because then you'd have a 7 and a 9 looking at that cell, which would be an 8. And that would need a 5 here, but we were saying this was a 4, 5 pair. Okay, this isn't a 4, 5 pair. That is useful. This is now a low digit, 1, 2, or 3. I don't know what they add up to. I don't know what this is, but I know it's a low digit. That is a triple. This is not 1 or 2. This is the big number. That is the circle. Okay, that's still solid. Right, good, 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 good. 8 or 9 there. This is low. That is repeated here. There must be a repeat digit. So that is not 4 or 5. Meh, things have changed though, have they? Yeah, this isn't definitely a triple now. Yeah, things have changed. Oh, that's an 8, 9 pair. That's genuine. This is a 7. Ah, there's only 3 ways to make that up. Bother. Those aren't 7s though, so this isn't a 4 up here. Right. Let's still think about this being 7, 2, 9, because that seemed to put a lot of pressure on. It does. If that's 7, 2, 9, that's an 8. This has to be 1, 2, 4. No, I don't know. This can't be a 2 because it has to be an odd number to make up this 46 or 48 total. That's a circle, we know that. And, well, it's now 6, 7, 8 or not. Well, not 7, but 6, 8 or 9. It can't be 7 because of that, not because I know it adds up to 23 anymore. I don't. Now, I've got this 1, 2, 3 triple, so this is a 4, 5, 6 triple. Right, these two have to be 1, 2, 3 digits, which I could have done by Sudoku, as much as knowing the rule about 2 low digits being on one of these arrows. Oh, don't know where I'm going next, do I? Not at all. Okay, let's have a look at the top row. They're even, plus an odd there. In fact, what can they be? At the maximum, those would be 17. This would be 34, 37. These two are always going to add up to an even number, but they could easily be 6 and 2. That leaves quite a lot of scope. Okay, that's not very helpful. One of those is a 7. Is that interesting? If that was a 7, we would use either a 5 or a 6 on the line, and that would form a virtual pair with that. Doesn't really help. Gosh. Okay, now if that's a 1, this did go wrong, didn't it? Now, did it go wrong in a way we can see? That's worth checking. If that's a 1, yeah, it does, doesn't it? It does. There was a clear problem. If this was a 1, that's a 2. This is a 729 set. Yeah, if that's a 1, that's a 2, this is a 3, that's a 4. But once that's 9, this is 8, and you also need a 4 on this line as well as there, and that's not possible. Okay, I'm using that. This isn't a 1, that's a 3. This is now from 9, 8, and 7, because those are the arrows, those are the circles making up 23, so this set can now add up to, sorry, making up 24, so this set can add up to 48. Right, that's good. That's not a 3, so this isn't a 4. Now that's a 5, 6 pair, so there is a 4 here. This is a 1, 2, 4 set adding up to 7. And that's a 1, 2, 4 set. God, it's complicated. That's a 1, 2, 4 set. Okay, that's interesting for this group, isn't it? I mean, there can be one circle along here, but otherwise we've got to have some low numbers. And they're, I mean, numbers on arrows, and they're at a minimum 3 and 5 at this point. I don't know, it feels powerful, but I'm not quite sure how to use it. Right. Ooh, 1 and 2 can't, 1 and 2 appear there, so they can't appear in this group. And again, there must be 2 arrow cells in that segment at a minimum. Well, exactly 2. They must be from 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so this can't be a 3-cell arrow because it couldn't get 2 low digits on it. So that is just a 2-cell arrow, and we get a border here and a circle here and a line that starts down there. And this is 3, 4, 5, or 6. Actually, no, I don't know why it has to be. Yes, it does, because 9, 8, and 7 are going in the circles in this box, and it does have to be confined within that region. That is also 3, 4, 5, or 6, but now you could put low digits here. This is 8 or 9, with 3, 4, 5, or 6 here. 8, 9, 7... I don't know what else to do. Feels a bit unlikely for this to be a 9, 8, 7 triple, but that's just waffling. It's not logic. I need to come up with something up here, don't I? What have we got up here that can work? That yellow is repeated somewhere over there. 1, 2, 4 as a set. This circle, oh well, it's 7, 8, or 9. I mean, that's fairly obvious. Those are the same as each other, so it doesn't really matter to that. The other circle is in one of those 2 cells. just got to be a little careful with this line, which wants to divide into 2 sets of 3. But you could actually put 9 on one end of it and have the line populated with 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Although you couldn't have 1, 2, 3 in that section anymore because of this 3. But you could still have a 9 there, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, which is weird, but worth bearing in mind. Probably not going to be the case, but as I say, worth bearing in mind. Now, one of those is a 3. But it could still just add up to 8 with 1, 3, 4. Okay, what would happen then? You'd have 7, 2, 5, 9, 6. Doesn't really affect this stuff at all. It's this arrow that feels the most potent in some ways to me. If that's a 2, that's very stressing because you get a 7 and a 9 there. That becomes an 8. No, I don't know. I can't see. Oh, that's a 5, 6 pair looking at this cell. That's a 4. That's the sort of thing that's just sitting there available and I'm not doing it. Ah, oh, muppet. Oh, right. So the 7 arrow cannot now be anywhere here because a 2-cell arrow would need a 4 and a 3-cell arrow making 7 would not include a 3. It would be 1, 2, 4. So neither of those is a 7 arrow. That is a 7. Interesting. Now, can this be 1, 2, 4? It would be a 4 there and 1, 2. Yeah, it can. One of these is 8 or 9, but that doesn't really get anything done. I was going to work out what this was. It's somewhere between 6 and 2. That's not... I can see why I didn't work it out now, because it's not very interesting. If that was a 9, that would be a repeat 2. That's interesting. If that was a 9, this would be a repeat 2. Because it's a 9, that's an 8, that's a 1, and 1 would go there. If it's an 8, this is a repeat 1. I was trying to make this not impossible to be 4, but I've failed actually. Oh, bother. Oh, I need to think of something else. Right, how about this being a circle? I don't know. I don't know at all. I haven't managed to colour these. Oh, there's a 7 in this group of cells. Oh, there's not only a 7, there's a purple cell in this group of cells. Right, well this has knocked on the head any possibility of this being a 6-cell section line. It's 2 sets of 3. And there's a 7 here somewhere, along with a purple cell. So this is either 781 or 718 or 729. And one of them is purple. I'm marking that. Oh, what's that saying? There's a 5 or a 6. Does it have to be there? Could it be 513? No. Yes, it could. 6, 7, 2, 9, and an 8 there. Oh, bother. That's really interesting, though, that there's definitely a 7 that is on an arrow here. It's not even in the circle. 3 and 4 have to be in these cells. They can't both be there. That's really interesting. So one of them is here. So this is either a 3-4 arrow. Yeah, this can't be 3 and 4 because that's not a 7 total. So one of these is a 3 or a 4. And that means this can't be 5 or 6. Because that couldn't go with a 3 or a 4 here. We'd bust the 7 total. Now this can still be a 4 with a 1-2 pair. Or this is a 3-4 pair. In which case this has to be a 2-6 pair. And that's an 8. And this is a 9-1-5-3. That is not possible. This can't be 9-1-5-3. Because you can't make up either 9-2-7 or 8-1-7 if you use 9 and 1 down here. Right. What have I just worked out? That this can't be a 3-4 pair. So this is a 3-cell sum. Wow, that's fabulous. That's really going to get me going, I think. This is now a 4 with a 1-2 pair below it. Ah, the circle is right here where I didn't expect it. It is 8 or 9. Oh, where am I? It is 8 or 9, clearly. Let's join up the line. We can do a line down there. Oh, there's going to be a line along here. Now, have we figured this out? This is 5 or 6 to make up 8 or 9. 1 and 2 are there, so that's not a 2. 4 is not here. This is either 3-5 or 3-6, making that 8 or 9. Oh, I'm going to get stuck again. Rabbits, rabbits, rats. Okay, I mean, I've been putting off thinking about this line for a long time. Maybe it's better than I feared, but it's probably, I don't know, have I got anything else out of this that I'm not realizing? 5-6 pair. I mean, those are either 2-9 or 1-8. So this is either 2-9-6 or 1-8-5. It's not really doing anything. These are the same colour. Let's make them green. Anyway, let's go to this line, because I was starting to wonder, where is the circle in this group of cells? There must be one. It could well be here. But if it wasn't, how could it be here? It would be... Or how could it be here? It couldn't be here. There couldn't be a circle here, because that would be a line segment then of 5... Well, there couldn't be a circle pointing this way here, is my point. I'm about to broaden that point out into this can't be a 4-cell segment. And that's definitely right, because this would be a 5-cell segment, and you can't have a 5-cell segment contained within one cage, because the arrow would add up to 4. So these are joined somehow in the same segment. And I think, therefore, well, unless this is a 5-cell segment with the circle here, and there's no way, because these can't have any low digits, well, they can't have any digits out of 1, 2, 4 in, there has to be a 3-cell segment on the end of the line, and this has to divide into 3-cell segments. Yeah, it does. Okay, so is the circle here and here, or here, here, here? Now, this version would require these to both be low. They would be either 3-5 or 3-6, putting an 8 or a 9 here. that's actually quite feasible. The other circle version may be less feasible because of the low digits that go here, here, and here, which would have to be at a minimum 3, 5, and 6. I don't know. I can't see how that's definitely wrong, although it feels like it might be. Oh, I mean, I suppose I can draw these full lines now. I just don't know where the circles go in the ends of them. Come on. Right, 4, 1, and 2 have to be in this group. So what's this that isn't 1, 2, or 4, but is a low digit? Well, no, or is a circle, of course. It could be a circle, couldn't it? Feels quite likely to be a circle now to me. This one sees 7, 8, 9 in the column, 1, 2, 4 in the row. Now, how could that be a circle, being 3, 5, or 6? It can't be a 3 circle, because 1, 2 can't go there. Okay, it's hard for that to be a circle, but it is just possible. A 5 or a 6 would allow this to be 1, 4, 2, 3, well, 2, 4, or 1, 5. They are all possible just. Yeah, these 3-cell sections, they are less powerful than 4-cell sections by a long way. Now this also can't be 4, 1, or 2. Ah, bother. Okay. What about this line then, which can't have 2 low digits? It must be a 3-cell section. If this was a 4-cell section, you'd need 2 low digits on it. So that is a 3-cell section. Then how many? Oh, we've got 9 cells left. I bet that's all in sets of 3. Well, this can't be a 5-cell section at the end of it. Yeah, so the only question left is, could this be a 5-cell section? The high digit would have to be here. This would be 1 or 2. It is just possible at the moment. Although it's going to stop being possible, actually, I think. Down here we need a 7 and an 8 or a 9. One of them is on the line. That's quite interesting. That is 7, 8. Oh, they could both be on the line, but it doesn't really matter. As soon as 7... As soon as one of them's on the line, we must need one of the very low digits, 3, 2, or 1 on the line. But maybe that's not true. This could be 9, 4, 5. If you had the 5 there and a 4, 9 pair there with a 7 here, man, oh man, it actually still works. Can this be a 6? Because I've seen that there's a 6 in one of those and a 6 in one of those. So one of these is a 6, and I'm wondering if this can be a 6. This can't be 4, 2, or that would break. It can't be 1, 5, because that contradicts that. So this can't be a circle 6. Can it be an arrow 6? Then it would need a 1 or a 2 here, 7 or 8 here. Works fine. So annoying. So annoying. This is very clever, Simple Purple Frog. This is not simple at all. Not in any way. What else can I find out about this puzzle? That's a 3-cell segment. Doesn't have to have a low digit in it because it could be 945. As randomly unlikely as I think that is, it does seem possible. It would be 5-4 with a 9 in a circle. That would become an 8. This would be a 1. I don't know. I can't falsify it. I don't know. I don't see how to falsify that. I'm going to have to find something else. This is getting harder and harder. I feel like I'm struggling about in a net at the moment. Now, none of these can be big 7, 8 or 9. Is that interesting? I was still trying to rule out the possibility of this being a 5-cell segment. This would be a 4-cell segment using 2 low numbers. This 5-cell segment, what would it look like? It would have the high digit here, 8 or 9. These would all be quite low, but they couldn't be 1, 2, 3. That would have to be 1 or 2. I mean, I'm sure it doesn't work, but it's a remarkable amount of effort it takes to prove it. Oh, okay. I don't think this can be the arrow end of a line. These digits are from 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Now if that wasn't a circle, where would the circle be on this line? Those two will add up to at least 8. The circle couldn't be here. There is just one way it could work. I've finally noticed that. Oh, thank you, you stupid light thing. Right, that would be 3, 5. And this would be a 1, and you could get a 9 into here. But then, okay, that wouldn't work. Right, this can't be the tip of an arrow, because you'd have to have 3, 5 there, 1 here, 9 there. Then you'd have a 5-cell arrow that would need to start. Well, the arrow, the circle end would be up this end, and that's no good because those 4 would have to be different. Right, this is the circle end. It's taken ages, and it's kind of been very available, but I didn't see it at all. 3, it can't be 3 there. This is the circle end. Now, for this to be a 4-cell arrow, I don't know, I'm not ruling that out yet, but now I've learnt the order of this line. So this is the circle. And there is either a 7, 8 or 9 on this, in these 2 cells, so that makes the circle at least 7. This is low. Well, it's lower than, I don't know, it's on an arrow. It's not necessarily low. Now, the circle that has an arrow here, well, it's either in one of these 2 cells, or it is this ridiculous 5-cell circle that I haven't quite ruled out. And then this could be 7, 8 or 9. But if it's in one of those 2 cells, it can't be 7, 8 or 9. Oh, I'm so befuddled and bewildered by this puzzle. I have got a 7, 8, 9 triple here and a 3. So these are all from 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Well, that's lower. Yes, we knew that was lower than that. I wonder if I could have deduced something there earlier. That's purple. That purple digit in this box is definitely there. Let's keep colouring for the win. So that is the other. That is green, 8 or 9. Now I just need to find somewhere that sees both purple and green, 8 or 9. That's a surprise. Now, this can't... Must there be a low digit here? Not necessarily. If that's a 1-2 pair, this is 4, 5, 6. Now, if this is not a low digit, a 1, 2 or 3, it's a 4. Then you've got 4, 5 here and 9. You get quite a lot of consequence from this. This would be a 2, 6 pair, for instance. 9 would be green. I don't know. I mean, it could probably be taken forward quite successfully and probably break quite quickly. But I can't quite see how. If this is the circle, which I think is actually likely, then it has to be 6, 5 or 4. These are both pretty low digits. In fact, this one can't be 3, 5 or 6. It's worth pencil marking. It's on an arrow, it's not a circle. That can't be 9. Oh, come on. That digit is the 1 or a 2 that appears there. This 5, 6 pair, what are they doing? Nothing. As soon as I get one bit of disambiguation done somewhere up here, there's a lot that's going to fall into place, I think, in this puzzle. But I'm probably some way away from that now. This is also not very high. Well, I suppose that's obvious. It's both on an arrow and not 7, 8 or 9. So maybe that's not very interesting. I mean, starting to pencil mark anything now, it feels a bit like caving in. Okay, got to think about this again up the top. If that is 7 or 8, that has to be 1 or 2. What's the problem with that? Is there a problem with that? Don't know. Okay, say green is a 9. Then that's 6, that's 5, that's 2, that's 1, that's 8. If green is a 9, this has to be 8. If green is an 8, that's interesting. Is that right? If green is a 9, that's 6, that's 5, that's 2, and this is 1. That's the point. If green is 9, that's 9, that's 6, that's 5, that's 2, that's 1. If green is 8, that's always 1. So that is a 1. Now, that might get some... That's the sort of disambiguation I was looking for. Green has become 9. Purple is 8. I think we're on to something here, guys. That's a repeat 1 with a 2, 4 on the rest of it. That is an 8. This is a 7. That was all it took. That was all it took. That was not a complicated step. It's been sitting there mocking me, hasn't it? You know it has. Wow. Now, can this be 2 or 4? does it have to be 7? This can't be 6 or 4 now. But it could be 5, 2. This can't be 4 or 2, 7. Oh, I don't know. Is that right? Let's just go back and check my sums here. 3, 1, 8, 5, 6. Yeah, that is 2, 4, or 7. Okay, the ways of making up 7 are 5, 2 only. The ways of making up 9, there's 2 ways of making up 9. 5, 4 and 2, 7. Right, that's what I can reduce it to, which isn't quite what I put in a moment ago. Now, come on. Oh, that's become a 6. There's more stuff here. That's made that a 5 and that a 6. Now, we've got no 9 here, so it's a 7, 1, 8 triple. The middle one can't be... No, hang on. 8 is on one end. The middle one can't be 8. That's become a 2 with the 7, 1, 8 triple. Right, well, it's filled. Okay, this can't be 3, 4 or 6, 1. That's a 2, 5 pair. That can't be 5. That's 3 or 6. Now, it can't be 6. It can't be a circle, because that can't be 2, 4 or 1, 5. So the circles on this line are in those positions. There. So we are adding, can't be 1, 2 or 5, it's 3, 4 or 6. 2 of those to give this 7 or 9, methinks. So one of those is a 3. Ah, but we need a 4 in this section of the puzzle, so that's a 4. That's a 3, that's a 7. 6, 8 and 9, that is 6 or 9, that's 6 or 8 in the circle. This is less than 8, so it's 5 or 7. This is odd, therefore, and it can't be a 1. So it's a 3 plus 5 equals 8. That's good. Now, this has to be the lower digit here, so it's a 2. That's 6 or 9. This is 4 or 7. It can't be 4, so it's 7. Ha! 9 there. That's got a 1, 8 on its arrow. That's a 4 in the corner, and a 6 there. That 3, 5 pair sorted out that 2, 5 long ago, and I didn't spot it. This is 1, 2, 6 in some order. Let's get rid of the numbering here. This is 3, 5, 7. That is higher than that, so 5 or 7. Now, it can't be a 3-cell arrow because that's not 1, 2 or 4. So this is the end of the arrow and is even. I don't think it can be 6, it's 2. The arrow ends there. This is a circle. This is going to be another circle because we can't have a 6-cell arrow. And that circle is definitely going to be a 6. Yeah, weirdly, that doesn't unwind everything. This becomes a 1, though. Don't know about those yet. This is now a 4. There we go, in the box. 5 plus, not 7. So interesting. Which bits do unwind immediately and which don't? That's now a 4. This was a 5, 4, 9 arrow. 6 and 7. The 3 and 1 are done as well. I think we're finishing off now, weirdly, after all this stress and strain. Although I still haven't done that one. This can't be a 7. Still don't. Okay, that now has become a 7. Right, that was straightforward. Right, 3, 6, 4, 2, 9, 5. So we've got 5, 7 and 8 here. Let's pencil mark this carefully because this is going to matter. Now, here's the business end. 2, 6 or 9. That is a 2. So now we know where the circles go, there and there. So I can finish off the upper circle. That is 8 or 7, so it can't be 7, it's 8 with a 6 there. Look at that, that's all done. Let's get rid of that colouring. It's just confusing now, and I think we're just finishing off some Sudoku digits. My goodness, what a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant puzzle. Too many brilliants? No, not for me. This is excellent. 3, 1, 3 and 6, 3 and 5, and that's it. Yes. Oh, that is epic. Well done, Simple Purple Frog. That was not simple. It was brilliant. Really intriguing. Oh, an hour nearly. Wow. Excellent, excellent puzzle. Makes for an excellent video. Thank you very much for watching us on the channel as always. And we really hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.